The legalization of marijuana in many U.S. states is creating a massive new industry, giving a generation of entrepreneurs an opportunity to strike it rich. These are their stories.
Colorado hit $1 billion this year. $1 billion in sales. $1 billion in sales and over $100 million in tax revenue. That wasn't done by a bunch of college kids. The amount of people that come into our dispensary, you know, they look like my mom, they look like our dad, they look like me and Scott. Everybody smokes cannabis. If you drink beer, if you drink wine, chances are you've probably also enjoyed cannabis. So once we start to understand that, and we let ourselves get out of that box and we talk about it openly, there is nothing that can be done to stop this legalization from coming across the country almost immediately. So Scott and I are involved in a number of business ventures. We have our restaurant, Jezebel's Southern Bistro and Whiskey Bar, which is 1 block away from our dispensary, Simply Pure, here in Lohi. I am also the principal of an organization called the Cannabis Global Initiative, which is a consulting and PR firm. We look at working with municipalities and elected officials and some businesses to help them maneuver through the changes in cannabis law.
Oh, that's 2 different stories, man. Same story, same location, but...
I met Scott in a bar in West Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
Cafe Figaro.
Cafe Figaro was my hangout. That was it. And we were together the first 90 days after that, and here we are 20 years later.
20 years later. My political career started from as long back as I can remember. Even becoming a member of the United States military, you know, came out of a passion for politics and wanting to be able to do what was right in the world. When I was 32 years old, I ran for Congress, worked on numerous campaigns doing their communications for them, which got me involved in raising a tremendous amount of money for Barack Obama, which brought us on to the Colorado Finance Committee and then onto the National Finance Committee.
Been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life. You know, everyone jokes about what's my best meal I ever had. It was the bowl of Cheerios that I had with all the sugar in the bottom after I smoked that first joint. So I was hooked at 11. I've learned from my grandmother how to be a cook at a young age. I also had the opportunity to travel to Jamaica and learn a lot of Caribbean cooking. You know, I was a Marine when I was younger as well. You know, one day I left Boston, moved to Los Angeles. I met my beautiful wife and partner, and we had the opportunity to do our first restaurant, which was a Jamaican cafe. So that started my culinary experience. After being there for numerous years, decided it was time to move on, and you know, we took a magical carpet ride and we ended up here in Denver, Colorado, and we were fortunate here to open up another 4 restaurants here. All was good, and then all of a sudden, boom, here comes the cannabis business. And you know, at that point, we had a lot of reasons to get into this industry.
Cannabis has affected our family in profound ways. My brother was arrested at the age of 17 with 4.5 ounces of pot on him, and for that he was given a 10-year prison sentence. Of that 10 years, he served 4.5 years in Huntsville, Texas, picking cotton for free. And this is one of the big issues that people don't understand about cannabis and why we arrest young people so often, and it's because for nonviolent drug offenses, and it's because they are working off contracts given to the privatized prison system. So the best way that we thought that we could help make a difference and change those laws was for us to actually get involved and start to sell cannabis. And we knew that we would be a big political statement when that happened, because they can make criminals out of Scott and I, because we had been involved in so many things where the press has covered us.
You know, I've done a lot of cooking, unfortunately, for people who are very sick, whether it's illnesses, whether it's cancer, whether it's MS, whether it's multiple sclerosis, migraine, headaches, the list goes on. And I found out that cannabis works. So with working with people and having cannabis and knowing food, we were able to create another avenue for people to be healthier without prescription drugs and whatever. So my venture really was taking what we've achieved with Simply Pure and cannabis and really turning it into a whole cooking experience and getting people to understand the nutritional value of cannabis and how you can incorporate that into your life. We were the first blacks in the country to get a license. That was important to us as well, and that's a very key factor. And we're business people. You know, this isn't an industry where you can just wake up, you like to smoke pot, you're in it. You got to be business minded, you know. The regulations, the laws, it's endless.
So as we went down this path and learning more and more and more about cannabis, it became just huge for us from an activism level because we're helping people with medical issues. We're helping people understand a mass incarceration rate. It's an amazing business to belong to. I mean, it's always nice to be on the forefront of doing something different in America. And that's what became, I think, the reasons why we are, head into this in a big way. And then lastly, you put on it that we've enjoyed this as we're connoisseurs. We've always enjoyed cannabis from a recreational standpoint from the time that we were both teenagers.